Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Spooky Gals, the podcast where we explore all sorts of real life and paranormal occurrences, from ghost sightings and hauntings to reported alien and cryptid encounters, myths, folklore, and legends. Every week we'll cover a different true spooky story. We're your hosts. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Jasmine.
How are you, Jasmine?
I'm very good. Weather's been really awful in Hong Kong this week. It's rained every single day. I'm not kidding, for about 4 days, which is a lot for us.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like a little drizzle. I mean like torrential downpour of rain. So yeah, I've just been trying to stay in. Stay warm and dry. Yes, a lot of naps. How about you? How's life in gloomy Liverpool?
It's good. It was actually really, really sunny this morning. And then because you pushed back our recordings, it's now threatening to rain, which since I record in the conservatory really isn't a good thing.
Well, you know what? If it does rain, you can blame it on me.
Okay.
And actually that might add to the ambience a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
We all love a little bit of a spooky drizzle.
We do. So I apologise for that if you can hear it.
Everyone can blame me if they can hear it. Okay, so I'm excited for this week's story.
So am I, because it is a place that's local to me, and it is kind of terrifying. You can go. They do quite a lot of like ghost hunting overnight things. So you arrive at like 9 p.m. and stay until about 4 a.m. I think it is.
No, that sounds like something off Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, it does.
I love that show.
But no one would go with me, especially not Philip.
I would go with you. Oh God, Philip. Dear Philip, who gets snatched by all the actors wherever you guys go.
He does, I know.
Poor Philip.
Well, I mean, his complaint is that it's like £60.
Where are we talking about, by the way?
Okay. So,
useful information.
The case that I am covering is Newsham Park Hospital.
Ooh, I've never heard of this place.
And it is doubly terrifying because before that it used to be an orphanage.
Okay. This is the kind of stuff I like. Okay.
So it was an orphanage first, and then it became an insane asylum.
Oh.
And terrifying. Lots and lots of ghosts. So
that's awesome. That reminds me. Yeah, wait, no. So So there was a film. I don't know if you saw it. It was. I'm trying to remember. I think it was a German film I saw, which was what was it? It was something. It was the German word for hospital. Like an old word for hospital.
Yeah.
You did a bit of German. You might know what it is.
I don't know what the German word for hospital is now. Sorry.
I forgot. But yeah, and it was terrifying. It's like these kids go into an old abandoned hospital and something happens, but it's not the thing that you think will happen. I have to get them the name of it because it was really good. It was kind of bizarre.
Grave Encounters.
I've not. You know what? I tried to download it last week after you called me out, because I was like, you know what? I never did actually watch that film, and it does look really good, but I have to find a good link to torrent. I mean, buy it in a legal way, a very legal way. I have to source that film somehow, but I will watch it. But this one, I'm trying to remember. I thought it was like a word for like it was called Hellstaten or something. HEILTSTATEN or something. Yeah. And I thought it meant Hail Satan because I'm derivative and silly. But it means hospital. We looked it up afterwards. But yes, that is my weekly recommendation. If any of you can get your hands on a creepy German film called Hellstaten, it will terrify you and confuse you in a good way. I recommend it highly.
Oh, that's good.
Anyway,
that's a lovely recommendation.
Thank you. I won't interrupt you again, please. Well, actually,
you will.
I will.
It's fine. Okay, so my sources for this were, of course, Wikipedia, my beloved hauntedrooms.co.uk, which I seem to be using on every single piece of research that I do. Higgypop.com, hauntedhovel.com, which I love. That's my dream house, is if someone could describe it as a haunted hovel.
I'm going to rename your house the Haunted Hovel whenever I come over next time. Change it in my like Uber settings.
And then theghostbook.co.uk, which I think is like, I'm not sure if it's Facebook for haunted places.
I was going to say, is it like someone... That would be creepy. Imagine if someone made like a Facebook, but for all the ghost people had seen, like an index, but it had like all of their qualities and their traits and what they looked like,
what they liked,
been seen, what they like, and like I like clanging chains and crying in dungeons, you know.
But don't they think that like with Facebook now there'll be a time where there are more dead people on it than live people?
Yeah, because people, I think the youngins are moving away from Facebook these days.
Oh,
yeah, so everyone's like, oh my God, you're on Facebook still? Oh, you must be like so old. And it's like, bitch, shut up. I'm like your mother's age.
Yeah, because I remember you made me make a Facebook account and I was like, this is never going to catch on.
Yeah, I remember because our cousins, our other cousins made me make it.
Who?
Serena and Stacey, because it used to be for I think high school or college people, like people in uni.
Yeah. And
then it caught on outside. But I remember we made Facebook in like 2006 or 2007, and no one under the age of like 20 had Facebook.
Yeah.
And we were like 11 years old. Like. But yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Tangent again.
Okay. Can you hear the rain?
A little bit, but it's a nice.
Is it? Okay, it's not that bad.
No, it's just like a little drizzling noise. It's very pleasant. I would nap if I could.
Okay, as it intensifies. Okay, so the background of Newsham Park Hospital. Newsham Park Hospital is a Grade 2 listed building in Liverpool, England, originally opened in 1874 as an orphanage for the children of British seamen who'd been lost at sea. Jasmine! That's not funny.
If there's any other word you could have used, you could have said
seafarers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men who like to hop on boats, but no. You chose for seamen, which you knew I would laugh at. Okay, carry on.
Okay.
I've composed myself.
Okay. So, the area of the hospital actually covers about 99,000 square feet and consists of 6 main buildings. Obviously, being an oldie-timey orphanage, it probably was not very pleasant, with siblings being split up and harsh punishment for misbehaving. The orphanage was closed in July 1949 and the building was opened as a hospital in 1954. The hospital developed its own psychiatric department and received an influx of patients with severe mental problems. The hospital officially stopped taking new patients in 1988 and by 1992 all remaining patients and staff had been relocated. However, with the closure of the nearby Rainhill Lunatic Asylum in 1992, the patients from there were moved to Newsham Park Hospital, taking up 90% of its space. The building was finally vacated in 1997 and the building has been left dormant since, with hospital beds, rusted wheelchairs, posters and paperwork in the exact same position in which they were last touched. In the morgue there are 6 body slabs and fridge doors lay open revealing the body drawers inside. With such a dark history, it is regarded as one of the UK's most active paranormal hotspots and is a very popular ghost hunting site and can have up to an 18-month waiting list.
18-month waiting list just to go just to go inside and hang out with some dead children.
Yes.
You'd be on some kind of other list if they were alive, I'll tell you that.
You know what I've been doing all week is just watching To Catch a Predator on YouTube.
I was gonna, when you started that sentence, I was very worried. I was like, Katrina, what kind of list have you been on this week? Oh gosh.
That's what my week's consisted of. I love it.
Oh goodness
so
me.
Funny. Okay, so the first reports of paranormal activity date back to when the building was still a hospital. There's an interview with a former worker, John Gray, which is from the Liverpool Echo, who worked in the hospital switchboard and reception from 1973 to 1986. He described the asylum as evil, pure evil, and that it should have been demolished years ago. His... Okay. Don't laugh at John Gray's pain, Jasmine.
Evil, pure. No, that's literally okay. Have you ever been in a situation where you know that you've done something wrong?
Yeah.
Or like something isn't right, but you don't want to take the blame on yourself, so you blame other things.
Yeah.
Because putting the onus on yourself gives you too much shame. So for him, he's like, no, fuck it, it's the building, evil, burn it all down to the ground. And, like, imagine if you could do that at work. You know, like fuck it, evil, no more, don't go there.
Burning down the museum. Just.
Oh, I've got a question for you. Do you think your museum's haunted?
There are quite a few people who have seen things and heard things.
You definitely need to do an episode on that. That would be really... You could do like interviews with them. That would take a bit more time, but that could be cool.
Yeah, I could. But I did like not much is known about the building. Like it used to be a warehouse where I think they had cotton and something else. Can't remember what the other thing was. And like people have died there, like the workers who used to work there. And especially
people have died everywhere these days.
They
Come
have.
on, you know, dropping like flies.
Especially in the basement, that's where most people like report things. And the basement is creepy. But
I think all
basements
have you
are
ever?
creepy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've never been to a non-creepy basement in my... I mean, I've not been to many basements. Hong Kong apartments, you know, we're lucky to get a shower that you can actually have a curtain in. You know, like a lot of showers in Hong Kong is just a toilet seat and a hose. So, you know, a basement is a luxury. But yeah, I wouldn't imagine there are very many cozy basements. But yes, sorry. You may go back.
Thank
you.
Tell me more.
Thank
you. So, the experiences have left John Gray traumatised with nightmares, and he claims that the staff were terrified of certain parts of the hospital, and you could feel the evil in the atmosphere. It is claimed that while a hospital, a nurse working there kept complaining about seeing apparitions, and she was later found dead at the top of the staircase in the main corridor. Psychiatric patients would always be talking to people who weren't there, and would frequently mention the children. Many staff members and patients also witnessed shadow figures, especially those of children, walking the halls. They heard disembodied voices and reported objects being moved. One source claimed that 16,000 people have been cremated on site, with pieces of bone and teeth found in the area of the morgue and incinerator. One of the most common occurrences mentioned by John Gray as a thing that used to scare hospital staff when they worked there, and which is frequently reported by visitors to the derelict hospital now, is the opening and closing of a specific row of cupboard doors on one of the upper floor corridors leading to the attic, which is referred to as the naughty cupboards. Apparently, children would be locked in these cupboards as a form of punishment when it was an orphanage. And it's thought that this banging is the ghost of a boy that accidentally died while locked in one of them, and he's making his presence known.
So has do you know if this place has ever been interviewed or like checked out by like the ghost hunters or any of those kinds of people? Because they like to debunk these kinds of things, and it's almost always some kind of like draft in like, although if it's happening, well, no, because it's nearby an attic, right?
Yes, it is.
So it's high up.
It
so
is.
There could be a draft somewhere.
There could be. It was investigated by. Is it Nick from Ghost Adventures, and he left, and he did his own TV series, and they went there.
I remember he left. I don't know why. One of them left.
Yeah. But they were just like, it's haunted. And that was it. That was the episode.
I love those kinds of shits. I remember, what was it? That was that episode of Supernatural. A few episodes of Supernatural with the ghost faces.
Ghost faces!
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that? The power of gay love can kill anything. Or save anything. Probably not kill anything. That would be a little bit problematic to say that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
Okay, so there are also reported sightings of a small child in that corridor, as well as a matron from the time that the building was an orphanage. So John Gray said that he saw her on the staircase, which was opposite his work desk when he worked there. And
wait, so the majority of ghosts in this building, they're not the dead patients, it's the children?
Yeah.
But the children who didn't necessarily die.
Well, I mean, it was a Victorian orphanage.
So everyone died back then.
Yeah, so...
Everyone dies now, though, Jasmine,
of
course.
So,
but I mean,
there was probably a lot of mistreatment and disease and sadness.
Consumption. Sadness.
Consumption, yeah.
Yes. Oh, dropsy. I mean, I think... I don't know. I guess if you... The problem, though, is that, of course, all of this is being said by the mental patients, right? The mentally ill patients. So, I don't know. I think it's almost too textbook that they would say, children, like, you know. I've not been to very many facilities like that in my time, I don't think. But definitely in films, it's always a creepy child.
Yeah, it is.
In a creepy abandoned hospital.
Yes. Very much so. And then it is also just like, you don't know if them being mentally ill is the thing.
Has some bearing on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess working in that place, though, anyone would go a little bit doolally, I feel. I think in any of those situations, it would be very, or at least very mentally taxing not to be problematic on main. But I mean, I think, I can't blame people for having a bit of a ghost sighting, really.
No.
Who would blame them?
Like,
sorry,
what? No, what were you going to say?
It just reminded me, so I began to play this video game, this video game, do you remember a while ago, I think it was with you, that we were looking up a game called Amnesia.
Yes.
It's like 10 years old now, and I've only just bought it. It's fucking terrifying. And I'm still kind of did you ever play it? Or did we play it together or something? No? It's really good, but it's very slow. And a big part of the game is that, like, so you can't fight anything. You're just kind of existing in the shadows. If something comes at you, you hide in the shadows. But if you spend too long in the dark, then you go crazy and you lose your sanity. So like the picture goes all warped and your heart starts beating and there's these like really cool psychedelics. It's horrifying, but it's so good. It's such a different take. But I mean, just in the vein of like impeded sanity and under creepy circumstances. Yeah, guess it has some bearing to reality too. Let's go.
So, another paranormal hotspot is the huge main hall, which would have been the dining room while the building was an orphanage. and where dragging noises, footsteps, and unexplained noises are frequently heard, especially near the balcony. And of course, as with any terrifying place, there is also a basement.
Cozy basement.
Which is where visitors report feelings of dark negativity, strange light anomalies, and apparitions of a headless man wearing white. As well as this, people have heard growling noises, experienced breathing on their necks, and have had their hair pulled.
Damn, sounds like a kinky ghost.
So that is Newsham Park Hospital.
Damn, and you can pay to be on a wait list to have the shit scared out of your bottom.
I mean,
for free.
They do it like all year round that you can visit. So you don't necessarily have to wait 18 months. You can just buy tickets.
I must say, I do love those kinds of places. There's one in Hong Kong, which is called the Central Hospital. That one's really, really cool. And that place actually closed down fairly recently. I think it closed down in like the mid-2000s. And it used to be like the premier place, the only place in Hong Kong where women could get a safe abortion. Because up until recently, you had to be like verified by like 4 different psychiatrists. You had to go through a bunch of counselling before they would let you abort.
Yeah.
Which of course is different now. But so this hospital was funded by, I believe it was a... Don't look so panicked about the rain, I'm sure it'll sound fine.
Okay.
The hospital was funded by, I think it was a church or something nearby, and then they cut funding. Some kind of charity cut the funding, and then the hospital had to pack up and move out the very next day.
Wow.
So everything has been left in state.
Yeah.
And
that terrifies me.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine, I won't name him, he takes dates there. Like, they break in. It's very smart. He takes dates there, and they break in, and they explore, and he, like, takes videos and puts it up on his Instagram. It's fucking scary. Like, there's, like, dried blood in the basins, there's, like, tools. I'm not sure how much is people are, like, leaving stuff there to make it look more creepy. But, I mean, even so, good job to them, because it all looks very real. But, I mean... Again, though, like that one, what's it called? Newsham Park? Newsham Park.
Newsham Park Hospital.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good deal older than the Hong Kong Central Hospital, I would say. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What do you think you'd be more scared of? Seeing the ghost of a child, or the ghost of, like, some crazy person? Some demented, dead person?
Well, that's difficult, because logically it should be the, like, demented person. But children terrify me anyway. Like, live children, I tend to stay away from as best as possible.
I mean, I don't know, I think either way, I don't know. I think children are spooky. I agree with you there. I think there's something about the creepy child trope, which is just so... It's something so weird how it is such a popular trope, because it's something which is so universal. Like, there are kids literally everywhere. Most people, I would say, still have children. Yeah. But yeah, it's also terrifying. It
is. Well, I have a theory that it's, like, scarier because... you think that children especially shouldn't be dead.
Yeah,
so, like,
kind
that
of like
adds a level of, like, fear of, like, mortality.
Yeah, and also I guess because, like, you'll feel like a kind of sympathy, or like a kind of like, oh, I want to help them, but they're actually either a malevolent force potentially, or they're just not fucking there because it's a ghost. Yeah. So there are many layers. That would be cool, like a psychological profile of a child ghost versus a crazy person's ghost. Either way, I would shit myself. So. I'm an equal opportunities fearmonger.
You are.
I always say, better to be safe than dead, right?
That's very true. Having said that, when you come, I think we should go to Newsham Park Hospital.
Definitely. Definitely. I'm very down for that one.
Good.
But yeah, I'm trying to think back to other pictures, because I think there was a lot in that one. There was a lot in that story. There's something I was going to mention about the headless ghost.
Oh yeah, I have no idea where that comes from.
Yeah, headless ghost. I mean, maybe someone just watched a lot of Sleepy Hollow. I think the cool thing about humans is that we have the power to scare ourselves more than anything else. Oh yeah. We freak ourselves out unnecessarily all the time.
Having said that, my dogs do always fart and scare themselves and run away.
Oh yeah.
So it's not only humans.
But you see, so I have, I've got a cat, Jasper. Yes. He's a very angry looking blue Persian. and Jasper, he used to do this thing where he would just stare at something in the distance and then walk over to something and like sniff the floor and then sit there. And that's what he does whenever there's a person that he doesn't know. He sits next to them, kind of sees what's happening. So a family friend used to come around all the time. She'd be sitting with my mum having some coffee. Yeah. And then the cat would get up and walk over to this random space and just sit down. And she'd be like, your cat sees a ghost. and my mum was like, no, he doesn't, he's just stupid. Yeah. But I swear, that cat has seen some stuff. Otherwise, I don't know why he's so angry.
Yeah, from what your mum has said about the cat, it's probably just communing with the devil.
Yes, definitely. He's a little shit, and I love him. I don't know what it is about that cat. Like, he hates everything. He tolerates some people, but I would literally die for that scraggly faced little thing. I love him so much. From the sound of it,
he doesn't tolerate your mother, and she is alone with it.
He's doing better these days.
Is he? Oh, that's good.
Yes, he's mellowing now in age. He's now 13 years old. He's very sweet. He's like a little shoe brush. I love him dearly. But yeah, I do think pets have like an altered sense than people do. I do think he can sense something. Probably can just smell where the food was last, if I'm being honest, because he is an animal. And I would do that as well. I would sneak out food if I could. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yay, thank you.
I wish I could have like a pamphlet of each of them, like to read along with you while you read it out.
I can send you that if you want.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool because that would help me to like really, really follow it.
Okay.
That would be, because of course in the moment, yes, but I don't want to keep on interrupting. It'll annoy people a lot because I go off on tangents all the time. I don't want you to completely lose your place.
Okay. Well, I will. I'll send.
Maybe next time you can send those over.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yes.
That was a fun one to read, and it's just started raining here as well.
How's it? Lovely.
Nice, lovely. Jinx.
So, thank you so much for listening, and we hope to have you back for next week's episode. If you want to get in touch for any reason, just to say hello, or send us a story of your own true paranormal or spooky experience, please email us at spookygalspodcast@gmail.com. And also make sure to like and follow our Facebook page, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, both of which are just called Spooky Gals. Thank you all, and see you next time. Stay spooky. Goodbye.
Bye 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 bye. No.
Oh, perfect. The thunder.
Oh my god.